Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my channel. Before I answer the question from the title of this video, I want to point out there's an elephant in the room and English is not my first language. I don't think in this language. And so it is a little bit stressful for me. The whole process of recording a video, like talking to the camera, is a little bit problematic for me, and it will clearly affect the quality of your experience. I am well aware of that, and I'm asking for some patience and understanding. And also in comparison to what I hope to achieve, and that is offering potentially helpful perspective and decreasing the level of suffering in the world, even on a small scale, I believe this discomfort is a small price to pay. I want you to walk with me sentence by sentence using pure logic, and if at any point you feel either lost or you feel you disagree with something, please let me know and I will either clarify it or change my mind, or I will suggest that we should agree to disagree. But I believe this is a very logical approach. This is the most logical approach I have come up with. I have always been a very analytical person. I've been struggling with binge eating disorder for quite a few years, but I have this belief right now with my current perspective that if I could go back in time and talk to myself back then, I would fix this problem immediately. And maybe I'm naive. Maybe this is what I will find out after publishing this video based on feedback or its luck. That maybe I'm naive, but I honestly believe so. I honestly believe so, and this is why I decided to share my approach, my perspective, basically my logical reasoning behind this problem. What is binge eating disorder? And again, I'm not looking for a definition. It's kind of another elephant in the room. And very often in the process of problem solving, I believe that elephants in the rooms are where the best answers, the best solutions lie. They are so available, so easily available. They are so close to us that we tend to ignore them and look for some extra strategies, extra knowledge, something very far away, and we ignore the solutions that are and have always been available to us. So I want to start by noticing that binge eating disorder are three words: binge eating disorder, and altogether they make a term, a concept that is helpful to communicate a problem between human beings. I also believe that we can express the same situation, the same phenomenon, using different language, hopefully better language, more pragmatic one, more detailed one. And this is basically what I'm trying to accomplish here. And by using better language, I think I get more to the core of to the essence of the problem, and hopefully it will enable me to approach it with bigger hope of resolving it, or feeling in charge, or feeling that I take responsibility. And so I was thinking how else I could illustrate the problem of binge eating disorder, and I was thinking what are the key characteristics that make this problem, and I came up with three parts, and that is expectations, that is failure, and that is guilt. Because when we think about it, the whole cause and effect chain within binge eating disorder, it is what it is, really. We are hoping, we promise something to ourselves. Sometimes it's not even verbalized, it's not expressed out loud, or we are not even aware of those thoughts, of those promises, but it looks like we are promising something to us and we expect it will go perfectly. Then when we start eating and it doesn't meet our expectations, we feel we failed. And then part three, we feel sense of guilt, resentment, we hate ourselves, we feel powerless, and so on and so on. And so, is there anything we can do about our expectations, about failing, about sense of guilt? I believe yes, to some extent, but in a way we cannot escape the scale of those three parameters. So basically, we will always have some expectations. I don't believe we can get rid of our expectations, and we will always expect something from ourselves. Even if we try not to, we will. I believe this is just a human nature, and we will always have expectations. But what expectations we have is definitely something we can work on, and it's in our control to manage our expectations. I can see the weather forecast and it's raining. I can manage my expectations that I will either need an umbrella, or I can stay home, or I will get soaked in the rain. And so I might fail again, like I will expect it will rain and it will not rain, for example, but I hope you know what I mean, that we can manage our expectations. And regarding failure, again, we will always fail. Sometimes we will succeed, sometimes we will fail, but if we are aware of this problem, we can definitely, for example, based on our expectations, we can take some more time and work some more on what strategies can we implement to meet our expectations, for example, and therefore improve our chances of succeeding in a particular area. For example, if I expect that I will be on a diet and I will be in a caloric deficit, for example, then I can prepare to meet my expectations by visiting, to buy some groceries and have them available at home. Then I don't have to rely on willpower that much, for example, when I already feel hungry and I will make worse decisions. So I can prepare to succeed with my expectations. I hope that also makes sense. And again, let me remind, please let me know if something doesn't make sense or you disagree. But yeah, there is some part of it that is in our control, and we can have some impact. And there is the last part, which is guilt. And I would like to suggest that the guilt is a part of the larger scale, which is level of my satisfaction from my behavior. So how I rate my previous behavior. For example, I hit my microphone and I'm not satisfied. It's not a big sense of guilt, for example, but I'm not super satisfied with the way I have been recording this video, like in the last 20 seconds, for example. So my level of satisfaction is, let's say, somewhere in 4 out of 10, for example. And the sense of guilt would be close to 0 or 1. So I feel overwhelmed by my judging thoughts that I'm a failure because I hit a microphone. And so there will always be some level of satisfaction the way we rate ourselves, the way we judge ourselves. And again, I think that's just a human nature, but if we are aware of that, we can approach this more logically. And again, understanding the whole process, the whole system, building our awareness will improve our level of satisfaction. Basically, it's unlikely if we are aware of the cause and effect chain to feel sense of guilt. If we understand it, then there is not really much space for self-hate and so on. And again, if we manage our expectations, that can be very helpful as well. And so if we divide the problem into small, more detailed problems, and we look for what is in our control, how can we improve our situation, then it already starts making sense and we already feel in charge. So I think it's all about looking for the space where I can find some clarity of what my job is at the moment. And so it's easier for me to feel present and feel sense of purpose, because in this moment my job is to explain my theory in front of the camera. So I know what to do, basically. And again, within this system, I also manage my expectations. I feel either kind of successful or kind of like a failure, something in between probably at the moment. And I will feel the level of satisfaction close to 5 out of 10, because I will not be super satisfied thinking I'm a superhero, but at the same time I will not be hating myself, because I understand the reasons that brought me here, that led me here. And this this humble approach makes it almost impossible to feel deep sense of guilt. So to answer the original question precisely and simply, I can fix binge eating disorder immediately by choosing a better language, choosing different language where binge eating disorder does not exist. Again, let me underline that I am not arguing against it. I'm just choosing a language where this term doesn't exist, because what exists in its place are better terms, more clear to me, that are like focusing on something that is in my control and that I can act on it. And so by choosing a different language, this problem doesn't exist. There are different problems that I can start solving right away, immediately. And let me clarify that immediately doesn't mean that it's easy. It means that it is possible to do it straight away by just asking myself different questions. So in practice, in terms of binge eating disorder, my approach would be that I don't ask myself, am I mentally ill? Do I have binge eating disorder? Is the type of eating I perform on a daily basis is binge eating disorder, or is it just some overeating? Because if I don't feel guilty, then maybe it's no disorder. Like these questions, they create some answers, but those answers are not very helpful. And what is very helpful is the answers which show some instructions to myself, basically tell me what to do. And it's all about questioning my beliefs and basically improving my beliefs, because this is how the expectations, internal expectations are created, and this is how I rate either success or failure. So once again, I am not arguing against diagnosis of binge eating disorder. I just choose a better language, and in my language, in a language that I use for thinking, for decision-making process, binge eating disorder does not exist. What exists is acceptance, choices, and consequences of those choices. And that paradigm has not been labeled disorder yet. And binge eating disorder is like rain-soaking disorder, basically. And it used to be very difficult for me to accept my binges, the way I ate, basically, to be more precise. And at the moment, it's extremely easy for me to accept everything, really, including my food choices execution. And and I came to the conclusion that the acceptance is only difficult because it is extremely easy, and we ignore this option because it's so close to us, it's so available to us, that we just ignore this. And I think this is the step number one, to accept the situation and focus on the next move. What is the next possible step that I really believe in, that I really believe this is a good plan for me? And it doesn't have to be solving long-term problem that I have. It just has to approach the next moments, the next hours. And this is a good start. And and this is something I wanted to share. Maybe it's just a beta version of my approach, but I felt I kind of had to share this with the world. And I will be very, very grateful if you could give me some feedback Is it relatable? Does it make sense? Is it helpful? Is it not helpful? Please, I'll be very grateful for any feedback, and thank you for listening, and I hope you have a great day, and all the best to you, and yeah.